Federal Railroad Administration Office of Railroad Safety Hazard Material Compliance Department Hazard Materials Compliance Manual, Summer 2011. Chapter 4 Inspection Chapter 4 Inspection Investigation Procedures. Inspection Investigation. The chapter outlines the inspection investigation process depending on the circumstance. The inspector will perform a different type of inspection. The specific circumstance will dictate the type of documentation that will be reviewed by the different aspects of hazmat transportation being analyzed. The activities combined to address strategical goals of the departments and the agency, reducing the release of the hazmat material for the shipment, whether accidents in normal transportation. There's a hierarchy to be that the inspector should follow with the planning and performing inspection activity. The inspector may be asked at any time to respond in an accident incident scene. The investigator, largely due to the time-sensitive nature, will promptly over the routine inspection activities, may remain inspector number one priority for several days and weeks, depending on the severity of complexity of the incident. In accordance with the Title 49 CFR 171.16, release of the hazard material regular transportation reported by the Department of Transportation. Incident reports on Form 5801 be the entity physical possession shipment on one of the FRA's top priorities, decreasing the frequency of non-accident releases, or NAR. The hazmat material specialist to receive the information of non-accident releases associated with their region, both originating and occurring, if assigned responsibility of non-accident release. Investigation inspector should handle the inspection as expeditious as possible. The non-accident release investigations are an important tool similar to the accident incident investigations, identifying and resolving significant safety concerns, meeting the agency's strategical goals. The National Inspection Plan, or NIP, by design, all inspections activities to focus on the way the enhancing the FRA's ability to reduce the train accidents and release of the hazard material. The plan using the historical data and the baseline and to develop the resource allocation with the historical data related with the federal inspection and no inspection conducted with the participation safety partners activities identified with the RISPC, or Railroad Inspection Safety Personnel Computer Routine Inspection Source Code A. 5 years average of that September 30th official year is used. The baseline establishing the yearly plan and developing the allocation inspectors of the rail car serve the identifier. Presently, the National Inspection Plan addresses the railroad inspection time for the hazard material regulation in detail on a per carrier basis. Shipper allocations are provided as a tool by the region. This allows regional personnel to expend resources as change is dictated. The National Inspection Plan is a data-driven model using a three-pronged approach. The efforts of the FRA headquarters established the initial baseline for each of the 8 regions of the plan of the hazard material and such set numerical goals derived with the model based on the trend analysis. Other data that allocate the inspection activity of each of the railroads by state. Mechanism used by the accident incident will analyze the pinpoint location that has material accident incidences likely to occur, assisting the allocation inspection resource. Second, regional leaders adjusting the respective regional planning to reflect the emerging industry. And these adjustments are made with the beginning of each new official year and the mid-year point to respond with the changing the trends listing. Lastly, the National Inspection Plan is implemented through the web-based interface, allowing both the regions and headquarters to monitor the progress of the field inspection during that official year. The FRA plan is safety-related activities based on many considerations, including statutory requirements, congressional direction, review of the relevant safety result for the prior safety inspection investigation recommendations of the National Transportation Safety Board, and the oversight of the bodies, including the Office of Inspector General, the National Safety Program Plan, and is a work plan that describes the programs and projects that are expected to have significant impact on the resource disciplinary staff and regions. The annual plan seeks to integrate with the major activities of headquarters and field staff based on the careful analysis of the data. It also seeks to provide with a consistent presentation of the regional activities aligned with the government performance and results of the act goals of the National Inspection Plan and the National Railroad Safety Action Plan, risk reduction program strategy, security highway, railway, grade crossing safety action plan. 4.2. Type of the hazardous material inspection and investigation. Generally, there's 7 reasons for the conducting hazardous material-related activities. Regular inspection, compliant investigation, accident incident investigation, special inspections or investigations. 5. Waiver investigation. 6. Nuclear routine inspection. 7. Re-inspections. Each of these activities has assigned the source code. The source code are included with the inspection report and help to identify the underlying reason for the conducting inspection, investigation, activities, information, and use of the source of the codes and completing with the inspection reports can be found on Chapter 5. Regular inspection source code A. Source code A is used to indicate what the activity reported was part of the inspector's normal routine inspection program. The regular inspection required the inspector to periodically inspect various types of facilities, railroad officers, contractors, manufacturing facilities, and hazardous material packaging with the assigned territories to determine the compliance with the federal safety regulations that requires the inspectors to have thorough knowledge of the railroad opportunities and in these assigned territory. Use available data to derive the decision as to where the inspector to the accomplishment of the task in a systematic manner. Inspectors must maintain an accurate, up-to-date list of regional inspector points, or IRIP, should be advise the regional specialist over the change of the inspector points of the safety trends within the territories as required, but the inspector should review the records of the railroad shippers and other regularity entities as appropriate for the monitoring their compliance with federal requirements pertaining to the transportation of hazardous material and commerce, e.g. accidents, incidents, fatalities, and injuries, etc. In-depth and accident analysis are conducted through the use of the FRA safety data. Additional source of the Pipeline Hazardous Material Safety Administration hazardous material intelligence portal, which combines data from the numerous government data sources, more being provided with additional indicators of areas concerning the reaching the decision inspection priorities, and the inspector should not limit the data source of the traditional accident incidents other than source information such as information received from the complaints. Industrial trade publications may highlight what is where the intention is needed as availability of the precursor data because the relevant information will guide the inspector in areas whose activities will ensure the greatest return on the time expended. Regardless of the source, the inspector should always be prepared to explain the use of the data and the reasons when asked. Inspectors should determine if any of the laws and rules other than the FRA jurisdiction have been violated. In addition, the inspector should study the accident trends in their inspection territory attributely to the transportation of the hazardous material rail. For example, the data indicates that the recent accidents were related to the specific cause. Concentrated inspection of the particular regulatory areas should be conducted. These processes should be applied with all inspection activity for the better utilization of inspector resources. Which realm of the regular inspection site specification inspection should be performed in part of one of the basis inspector knowledge of the enforcement areas required by the many. It may more attention ensuring that safety complied with the indicators for the data analysis information provided with the regional supervision that problem to the area. Alright, 422. Compliant investigation, source code B. The source code B is used to indicate the reported activities related to compliant investigation. There are 2 types of compliance. The category of congressional compliance and those filed with the railroad employees, labor organization, other government agencies, and other general public. The principal difference in involvement of the headquarters staff and the congressional complaints. The following guidelines in addition with these located with the general manual. 4221. Complaints filed by the railroad employees, labor organization, government agencies, and general public. A complaint may be submitted with the writing of the form, a letter, email, message, verbally, telephone conversation, and personal complaint. Investigation must be conducted without the relevant revealing to anybody other than the FRA personnel of the complaint that is or was under an investigation. Although an inspector is assigned to the complaint investigation, normally knows the identity of the complainant. In no event should the inspectors reveal the identity of the complainant to anyone other than the FRA employees unless the complaint authorizes such disclosure in writing or on the current FRA statement of the witness in the form attached in Appendix C. The FRA refers the matter of the Attorney General over the enforcement and discussion limited with the person at the Attorney General's office. See Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 20109. Each region is responsible for handling respective complaints for the staff. To finish, this includes the logging and assigning language, acknowledging an investigation, closing, keeping the file. The region will assign the complaint to the inspector. Will complete the investigation with the prescribed time frame to the general manual. If the complaint investigation can be completed with the prescribed time frame, the inspector will write the memorandum or email to the regional office of the complainant with the explaining the reason for the delay. The Hazmat Materials Division headquarters staff should be relied upon for the technical interpretations as needed to arise. 42222 Congressional Complaints. As noted with the general manual, although each of the region is responsible for handling all the aspects of the Congressional Complaint Investigation, headquarters often play in the large role responding to the congressional complaints. The congressional complaint is received, but the region will assign the complaint to an inspector should complete the investigation with the prescribed time frame. See the general manual. And congressional complaint investigation cannot be completed with the prescribed time frame. The inspector must inform the headquarters of the Hazmat Material Safety Staff Director in writing of these reasons for the delay. The completing of the investigation, inspector should promptly forward the report of his or her findings the relevant file with the headquarters material staff director. His or her design for the completion of closeout letter for the administrator associated for the railroad safety chief's officer signature as appropriate. 423 Accidents Investigation Source Code C. Source Code C is indicated with the inspection investigation activity directly related to an investigation of an accident. These two occasions of the source code will be used on-site investigations of accidents and incidents and inspection of the remote shipper and facilities where it involves shipment occur. In both instances, the use of the source code will be directed to Inspector Regional Specialist. 4231 on-site activities. Upon arrival of the accident scene, the inspector should immediately identify themselves other than the FRA inspector already on the scene. On scene, coordinated with the incident commander of the state and local emergency response teams, state and local authorities, and representatives of the federal agency, the National Transportation Safety Board, U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, and railroad representatives. In the on-scene coordinator of the incident commander of the unaware with the technical resources available to assist the damage environmental hazard. Clear records. Inspectors should provided with the following contacts: immediate emergency assistance, Chemtrek, 24 hours, 1-800-424-9300. National Response Center, 2400-844-248802. If and during accidents investigation, a National Transportation Safety Board investigator arrives on the scene, the FRA inspector should introduce themselves and offer the full cooperation, promptly contact the regional office, advise the National Transportation Safety Board presence unless instructed otherwise. The FRA investigation activities should continue independently. In those instances, the National Transportation Safety Board, the FRA jointly investigation as an accident, the National Transportation Safety Board generally assume the control of the activities and include statements to the media. On the occasion of the hazmat material inspection will typically be assigned by the hazmat team. That is a member of the team. The hazmat investigation will include with the packaging, survivability behavior of the National Transportation Safety Board run accidents. Factual conditions regarding compliance with the federal hazmat material transportation law and hazmat material regulation. 4232 Remote activities. All at times it may be necessary to conduct inspection investigation activities at remote locations, support accident incident investigations, often other than inspector to perform the accidents where the accidents of remote personnel and needed to complete the investigation and collect the information. The inspector should contact the regional supervisor to request assistance when it occurs. The regional supervisor of the activity taking place with the direct inspector of the source code C. If an accident number is assigned, the number shall be reflected in the incident action report for the reference in section C, section chapter 5. 424 special inspections or investigations. Source D is used to identify the actions to be undertaken because of the regional national goals outlined in the National Safety Program Plan identified by the regions. In general, the code is used for an inspection initiated with a specific reason for the purpose not otherwise identified, not involving the routine inspection. Final number must be assigned and indicated with the inspection report. Source code D is used. The code should only be used when directed by the regional specialist who provide the regional file number. 425 waiver investigation. Source code E. The waiver activity that has materials of discipline. User of source code E take the form of the special permits. One type movement approvals. The special permits are used with the Pipeline Hazard Material Safety Administration, whereas one-time movements approvals are used in the FRA Associated Administrative for the Road Safety Chief of the Safety Office. Or 4251 one-time movement approval, or OTMA. Special permitted investigation. The effective oversight of the special permits approval with non-compliant bulk packaging coordinated with the approach between the headquarters of the field and specific instances coordinated with the effort being before the approval and the permit is used. However, in all classes, surveillance is required to ensure that the terms of the approval permits are adhered to by the grantor. 42511, one-time movement approval investigation. During the evaluation of one-time movement approval documentation, the hazmat material may be requesting inspection for the bulk packaging provided with additional information related to the condition of the shipment evaluation, vehicle railworthiness as outlined in Chapter 9 of the tanker car's structure and integrity issues required in the review to ensure that the tanker car can be moved safely. The field inspector should consider packaging condition of the route and anticipated with any other safety consideration when making recommendation. Once issued, the regional oversight may be required to validate with the grantor complies with the terms of the approval. The oversight includes notification regional personnel, notification train crew, route causing remote mandated with disapproval. The inspector report with the oversight activity the routine inspection actions unless the activity is part of the special inspection directed by the regional specialist. All right, 42512, special and permanent investigations. Inspectors related with special permits are grouped in two general categories. Current holders, renewals, and parties to, and applications both new and modification, which each of these number the subcategories as this name suggests. Current special permits are those under the holder currently operating where another entity wishes to become a party to existing special permits with no change to the permit itself. Inspection related to these special permits are intended to identify any of the following concerns. Is the special permit still needed? If not needed, the FRA will recommend the pipeline has material safety administration requesting show cause a letter to explain the need for the special permit. Is the special permit issued with the corporation's specific particular location? If the FRA will recommend the pipeline has material safety administration request show cause letter to explain why all locations should be included with included with a special permit. Is the permit fit to perform the duties associated with the special permit? As a result of the inspection recommendations will be sent to the responsible headquarters of specialists. The other category, application of special permits, are further grouped by requirements of proof equivalent to the level of safety. Application for new and specified permits must demonstrate the proposal equipment is provided with the equivalent level of the safety provided with the adherence of the regulation. Application renewal party to the status do not require demonstration of an equivalent level of safety. 42513. Application new and modified special permits has four levels of evaluation. Application for new modified special permits, the first and broadest level, the determination information provided is complete and accurate. If the application meets the minimum requirements for the provision, special permit will be formed with a headquarters specialist to whom the special permit is assigned the next level of the evaluation compliance with the incident history of the application. This was also included the evaluation stated equivalent level of safety. This was performed by the headquarters specialist as well as all the minimum criteria indicated with the flowchart and are not met and inspection of the application will be performed. The third level of the evaluation inspection performed regional personnel with a focus on compliance issues. The incident investigation inspector will report the findings associated with findings assigned with the headquarters specialist are using the existing channels with the review of the regional specialist. This final level of the evaluation will be audited with the regional specialist personnel application for determining fitness and the relatively special permit. The result of the audit will be submitted with the headquarters specialist for the final facility fitness documentation found in Appendix F. Alright, let me back out of this. Alright, new modification, special and permanent requests. It's a chart. I don't get it. 42514. Application renewal party to the status of the existing special permit. The evaluation application renewal of the party status for the existing special permits can be found in the flow chart below. Due to the fact that the equivalent safety evaluation has previously been completed, the flow chart does not contain the criteria for the inspector accepted to consider the developing evaluation unless the specific conditions have been changed. If needed, but the inspector should acquire a copy of the evaluation even though the Department of Transportation docket system or from the assigned headquarters specialist aside from those that aside from this and a slight difference with the evaluation criteria, the flowchart is very similar, but the flowchart provides with the time frame with an inspection audit to perform. Alright, 426, nuclear route inspection. Source code H. Source code H is used to indicate the activity reported with the conducted with the support of the FRA Radioactivity Safety Compliance Oversight Plan, or SCOP. Prior to the shipment of the high-level radioactive waste of spent nuclear fuel via the rail from the 3 Mile Island in the late 1980s, a comprehensive inspection policy was written for the FRA during the subsequent shipments. Campaigns to plan known as the Safety Compliance Oversight Plan was reviewed and expanded to address all critical areas of the rail transportation plan addressed by the operational integral emergency response of the routine infrastructure integrity of the high railway grade crossing safety security other miscellaneous components for these high profile shipments when performing the inspection associated with the components of the Safety Compliance Oversight Plan. High-level radioactive waste for spent nuclear fuel shipments with the inspector will use source code H when creating an inspection report. Alright, 427, reinspection source code R. As noted in the general manual, follow-up activities or reinspection recorded with the source the code R are mandatory in some instances, and while they are only recommended in others. In case less egregious violation of the deficiencies, inspectors, specialists may exercise discretion schedule follow-up of the inspection in balance with the other inspection priorities. These inspections should be conducted with a reasonable time and time after the violation of deficiencies was discovered. Two findings require mandatory reinspection of hazard material issued the reference relates to the train consisting of the program. When the inspection finds the train crews operating with the train consisting of the lack of completing information, one or more hazard material shipments for the improperly identified locational hazard material shipment, they must conduct the reinspection of the train at the same location in required time frames. Additionally, with remedial action required for the inspection in accordance with the Title 49, Part 209, required action is not reported by the FRA within 60 days of follow-up inspection is mandatory. Alright, 4.3. Location of hazmat inspections, common components of the inspection. Because of the extensive nature of the hazmat material transportation, inspectors conduct activities in a wide range of facilities, operations, realizing that the list is not complete. The following example, the illustrative list is designed to highlight the majority of the activities, location-specific components that inspectors may experience. 431. Railroad Customer Service Centers. When customer service centers exist, inspections are performed to determine the carrier's compliance with the documentation requirements of hazmat material regulation. The initial contact is usually the customer service center manager, depending on the particular circumstance. An inspector should review the following documentation as appropriate. Alright, your bill of lading of the paper electronic document created by the person offering the hazmat material for transportation containing the information required by the subpart C Title 49, Part 172, and Section 174.24. The way bills carried created document reflecting the information received from the shipper and other carriers. Train consisting notice issued with the compliance with the regulation of the train placement notice of the train crews and placards. Note that the violation Title 49 CFR 174.26 cannot be sustained solely by the review of the train consists other than movement documentations obtained by the other from a customer service center. A violation can only be sustained when it can be proven that the movement of documentation that the crew has actually used move the train did not comply with Title 49 CFR 174.26. The carrier training program record of the training program mandated by Title 49 CFR Part 172 Subpart H records demonstrates employees have been properly trained. Alright, 432, the rail yards and other inspection purpose points. The purpose of the hazmat material inspection of the railroad yard is to determine the compliance with the operation and handling the placard. The inspection has material shipment. The initial contact, usually the yard master, will be responsible for the yard operation depending on the particular circumstances. Inspection should look at the following: registration, Title 49 CFR 107.601, implied for the person who is offered the transportation, certain types of requirements, certain types of quantity of hazmat material. There is some exemptions found in 107.606. Regulatory exemption shipments made under the Department of Transportation special permit special approval. The FRA approvals of Title 49 CFR 174.50 on the U.S. Department of Defense certification equivalency must comply with the other terms contained therein. Transloading operations must be conducted in accordance with the Title 49 174.67 package of the hazmat material marked and required in Title 49 CFR 172 Subpart D. Packaging must be labeled and placarded with the Title 49 CFR 172 Subpart E and F, Package of manufacturing Title 49 CFR 178 and 179 maintained with the accordance of Part 180. Securement closures and closures openings packaging are secured by the required Title 49 CFR 173.21, 173.31, 174.67. Inspection of railway cars carrying hazmat railroads are indicated inspection required in Title 49 CFR 174.9. Defecting the found with the Title 429 215 through 31 233 232 shall be reported to the Department of Transportation Field Form 96. Train placement. Railroad cars are handled with place in trains as recorded in title as required in title CFR part 174 subpart D. Carrier and training programs recorded the training in the program mandated in Title 49 CFR Part 172 subpart H, recording demonstrating the employees that had previously properly trained and incident release reporting the release of the hazmat material properly reported by the Title 49 CFR 171 15 171 16 security plans. If applicable, the carrier has security plans in place that are required by the Title 49 CFR 172 subpart I. All right, 433 intermodule facilities, marketers, and actual facilities. Intermediate inspection performed to determine whether the shipment offered by the railway carriers other than the modes of transportation complied with the railway transportation requirements. Inspection requirements of the intermodule shipments are generally the same at the railroad customer centers of the arts inspection. Following up, the inspection may take the place of the non-railroad entity, such as a freight forwarder, broker, and an agent's place on business. Intermodule ships exported by the imported by the United States are generally controlled by the agent and broker, and although the agent and broker may appear as an offer, as such may be responsible for performing certain functions in accordance with the hazmat material regulation. This does not change the original offeror's duty to comply with the offer hazmat material regulation. 434 offers a facility. The purpose of the type of the inspection with the determining the person with the offer hazmat material for the transportation railroad does not comply with the hazmat material regulation. Inspection of the type of the conducted with the facility ship receive the hazmat material railroad including the internal module offers who do not have direct rail access. The initial contact is usually plant manager or official responsible for handling material hazmat material, and depending on the particular circumstance, the inspector may look at the shipment make under the Department of Transportation special permit. Exemption special approval, the FRA one-time movement approval, the Title 49 CFR 17050, use the Department of Defense certification equivalents NTC, they comply with the terms contained in therein. Shipping papers comply with the regulation Title 49 CFR 172. So Part C, Title 49 CFR 172, 112, 172, 22, for shipments of Canada, Mexico, and other international shipments. Packages of hazmat material marked with the Title 49 CFR 172D. Packages are labeled in placard in Title 49 172 subpart E and F. Packages are filled with the correct outages and specified material and required that the applicable the outage requirement of Title 49 CFR 173. Packages are manufactured and maintained the required Title 49 178, 179, 180 classification. Materials are properly classified by the applicable classification section in Title 49 CFR Part 173. Loading and unloading. Tanker cars are loaded and unloaded as required in Title 49 CFR 173.31 and 174.67 transloading. Note that Section 173.1G applies even though the tanker car is not transportation at the time of the loading and unloading. Packages that had material are loaded in the transportation vehicle. The freight container is required in Title 49 CFR 173. 31 in Part 174, subpart C, E, G, E through G, and A through K. Transportation training. The officers training program mandated by the Title 49 Part 172, subpart A's records demonstrating that hazmat material employees have been properly trained. Title 49 CFR 172, subpart H. Security plans, if applicable, the officer and security plan in place with the required by the Title 49 Part 172, subpart I. Alright, tanker 435 tanker car facilities, owner, manufacturer, repair facilities. The purpose of inspecting tanker car facilities is to determine the manufacturer, reconditioner, and the owner's compliance with the hazmat material regulations concerning the manufacturer, maintenance, repair, qualification, testing, retesting, specifications, containers, initial containing, usually facility manner when conducting the tanker manufacturer, repair the facility inspection depending on the particular circumstance. The inspector should look at the following: the facility performing the welding on the tanks that would valid certification on file, the fabrication, alteration, conversion, or welded repairs, the facility of the quality assurance program meeting the requirements of Title 49 CFR 179.7. The facility ensures that only qualified personnel perform non-destructive inspection and testing, and the facility is certified with the tank car repair shop. At least one person with a Level 3 qualification tank car repair shop employing not qualified Level 3 person must list the company that intended for the use of the service. Faculty in opposition localized heat treatment equipment with non-destructive testing equipment not be able to perform such testing of the magnetic particle radiological equipment using the radiation source has then five subcontractors evaluation sheets. Each of the person engaged in the welding on tanks performed with qualified maintenance in accordance with the Appendix W in the Association of American Railroads Tank Car Manual M1002. Each person performed the fabrication, maintenance, delivery, alliteration, prevention, maintenance on the tanker, and their improvements with the tanker car using the method techniques from the practice inspection, current maintenance manual, assembling drawings prepared by the Manufacturer Sales Association American Railroad Tanker Car Manual for sample forms. Shipment made under the U.S. Department of Transportation special permit of the FRA and comply with the terms and conditions of the permit approval of the faculty and the training program that has material regulation for their employees while conducting the inspection of the tanker car. Owners of plants and inspection should concentrate the records required and maintained by the Title 49, Part 180, and Subpart F. 4.4 Inspection involving multiple inspectors or days. Inspection activities will often cover multiple days or involve multiple inspectors. For the instance of the tanker car facility audits and multiple agency strike force operation with a specific rail yard may require one or more inspectors working on for over several days to documenting and finding its importance not only on the FRA data for purposes but also for advice over the regularity and need of deficiency found in order for the institute corrective and preventive actions and ensure the understanding to reduce the problem is more important than every measure to reduce misunderstanding is taken when the inspector conducts the inspection activities over the multiple days. He should document the activities over the one inspection report and covering the entire period. Likewise, if the multiple inspectors conducting the activities, whether the one or the multiple days for those choosing one inspector completion of the inspector report, so each participating inspector accompanying the inspector tasked with a prepared inspection report is responsible for the preparing and associated violation inspection investigation reports. This requirement does not include the activities conducted during the accident investigation. This page is intentionally left blank. This is an inserted tab in Chapter 5. Chapter 5 Field Reporting Procedures and Forms.